so that we get it. We do have some UK team members that they said it's like 2 a.m. their time. So I was like, okay, get some sleep, get ready for a long day tomorrow, but we'll get this for them. So first of all, just thank you so much for jumping on. Everybody's super excited. We actually kept you a secret for a little bit because this challenge that we're doing is a daily challenge and it's 3 strikes and you're out. And so it was like, you don't want to miss who's coming on Monday night. And then we leaked it yesterday, who it was. So for those that were still in, they're very excited. And we actually have a lot of promoters that some are brand promoters, some are new, some have been like, you know what, I never really got started, but I'm ready now. And they're doing all of these daily challenges. And I kind of wanted them to hear from you on the sense of one of the things that we love, I know Natasha and Mitzi and Chassie and a lot of us leaders, is that you and Paul both have that background of being distributors or promoters, you know, and so from that point, we know, we've heard you talk about it, but for people that they just don't know how to do direct sales, they're getting defeated. Can you share that part of your story with them?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to be here once again. It's amazing to see how much technology changes our business in the world. I mean, I remember when I first started in this industry, there was no internet, and we actually had to fax in the distributor, what we would call promoter, the distributor application. And then you'd have to wait to receive a fax back to let you know that that person had been enrolled in the system. And so from that to having Zooms like this is crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody knows how to do network marketing, right? No one is raised or trained or educated. Schools don't teach you how to do that. I mean, you know, in sales in general, nobody just naturally knows how to do those things. And I think it is unique for Paul and myself to both have the backgrounds that we do, because there's a lot of companies out there that the chairman or the board or the CEO, whoever's truly calling the shots at the end of the day, if they don't have an understanding of what the promoter is going through, what the culture is going through, they easily make bad decisions. You know, they make decisions that are just simply based on the bottom line for the business and not what's truly best for the promoters in the field and the customers. And that's one thing that we do. You know, I mean, every decision that we've made since day one, it's what's best for the promoter. What would we want? I mean, ideally, we just built the business we wanted. I mean, I still think of myself as a promoter, right? I mean, I have the products that I would like to have in my business. I have the comp plan that I would like to have if I was still building teams, which I really am building teams, right? I've built a giant team called Lavelle.com. And everything here at Lavelle is just the ideal situation that we wanted as promoters. And, you know, my own personal story, I won't go into the whole thing, but I started as a distributor, was in that space for about 8 years. I cut my teeth on just kind of the distributor promoter realm, and did not make a lot of money at that time. I was insanely young. This industry found me when I was in college. I did not graduate college. I left college chasing a dream called direct sales, and that was 18, 19 years ago. And but through those first 8 years, I consider that kind of my boot camp in this business, where I didn't make a lot of money. I didn't have a whole lot of success, but man, I was at every conference call. I was at every meeting. I was at every living room local, which they were called different. And if there were Zooms back then, I would have been on every Zoom. And what I really saw back in those early days was I saw a vehicle, an opportunity to kind of break the status quo in life. And coming from a little small town in West Texas, and, you know, family was cotton farmers and welders. My dad was an air traffic controller. My mom worked at a private university in the admissions office. So there was nothing about my life other than really great parents and a good loving home. There was nothing necessarily that said this guy was going to have a lot of success. You know, I didn't really come from money. I didn't have some trust fund situation. There just wasn't a lot about my family other than love that was going to write my check, right? And so what I saw about this industry was a way to break that status quo that I had seen my whole life growing up. And we've all seen it, right? It's kind of the Monday to Friday, paycheck to paycheck, Monday through Friday, living for the weekends. And I just didn't want that. And when this industry found me in that company, I just saw people that were no different than I was. They were maybe more educated than I was. They were maybe more this or more that, but they had achieved something that I knew that I could achieve. And my desire was just through the roof. I mean, truly, truly, truly through the roof. I didn't want anything else more in life than to have success with that particular business. And I didn't. I didn't have any success with that business. It was probably the most psychological and emotionally crushing time in my life when I actually said, I've got to part ways with this company. And it wasn't because the company did anything bad, or, a lot of times when people don't have success in this business, they try to blame it on other things, right? They try to, well, the company did this and this, or the products because of this, because of that. They don't ever just own up to the fact that, man, I just couldn't get it done. I just couldn't get it done. It was me. Everything was there. And that's what I did when I left the company. I remember calling my friend, he was the one who introduced it to me. He was my roommate in college. And I said, Wes, I can't believe I'm having to call you to tell you this, but I'm completely, utterly broke. I need to go get a job. This is just not working. I have done everything on planet Earth I've know how to do to try to get this thing going. And go on. I want you to just don't ever quit. Just go, 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 go. But anyways, that was the start of my career in this business. And I did go get a job for about 6 months, and the industry found me once again. That's another interesting story in itself. I wasn't looking to get back in the industry. The industry kind of found me. And through that time around, that's kind of what got me jump started into twofolds. I had major, major, major success that go round, built teams in the hundreds of thousands in many different countries, and made a lot of money. And then from that, I went on to the corporate side of the fence. But short story long, long story short, when Lavelle came into play, rewind about 3 to 2 years from 2012, and I had started building a software platform. I knew I was going to have my own company one day, but through the corporate side of the fence in this business and running various companies, being the president of a company, being a chief marketing officer, whatever the title was that I had, the frustration was twofold always. Every single company. One, it was people that didn't get it, that weren't distributors, weren't promoters. It was a board, it was a chairman, it was a CEO, whoever I reported to, they just didn't get it, right? And that was frustrating. The second thing was the software was a huge pitfall to the company, a speed bump. And you're having to go to one of these software companies to get your software done. And the delays, the service of them servicing your code, or say I wake up to this morning and I want to run a promo, which happens all the time. It happened today. I woke up this morning and said, hey, let's do a Thrive social media promotion. Let's tear the social media up right now with Thrive. And I can deploy that in 2 hours. And you can never scale your business. And from what we did in 2012 to now, and scaling the company from 0 to 2 billion, we never would have been able to do it without our own software. So the reason Lavelle was formed for promoters by promoters is because it was the perfect home first and foremost for Jason and Paul. I mean, we were the first two promoters to go into the system. It was the home for my wife, the home for my mom, the home for my friend. I mean, it was just, we started the perfect company for us as our home to go get it done. So that's kind of the start, Amber.
I love it. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. And thanks for the new promo.
Yeah.
We're always grateful for how much y'all continue to pour in, the things that you don't have to do that you do. We're so thankful for that. Two things. One, I'm just going to tell you this because I'm not sure if you can see the chat, but there's a lot of chat running through. But everybody is saying that your skin looks amazing. and your view is awesome.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So, but sorry, not to embarrass you, but
I,
that's
I did do my charcoal mask earlier this afternoon, so I love that thing.
yeah, thanks for that, by the way. That sucker is awesome. My skin is always so soft right after. So anyway, thank you. Okay, so how about let's talk about just as a promoter, and I know you've said this on calls before, but for people that maybe haven't heard you or some of us that just need to hear it again, what would you recommend? Like how do they go about sharing Thrive? What do they need to do? They just need to post a couple times. They need to talk to their mom, their sister, and just hope it works?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to answer that question. I'm always a firm believer in leading with the product. That's how we've had the most success. And the average person, listen to me carefully on this. The average person is not going to be good talking about the business, right? It's kind of awkward. Probably have never done it before. It's not a natural conversation to have with your friend, with someone that maybe you live by, with your daughter's cheerleading team, and you're trying to talk to the moms. I mean, whatever the case is, you're just really not going to get very far talking about the business because people just don't relate to that. And I think the biggest thing is to lead with the product. I also think to know the person you're talking to, right? We predominantly lead with the Thrive experience, right? But now we've got Thrive Skin, and that's exciting. And some people want to lead with that, and that's fine. But kind of know the person you're talking to. If let's say if I knew Amber and I just knew Amber, she's got a background in the beauty space. She's professionally done hair for a long time, blah, 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 blah. And she was just really into skincare products. I might choose to lead first with Thrive Skin, right? And so I've made a calculated decision to approach her about the Thrive Skin kit. And that's how I'm going to talk to her, right? So it's knowing who you're talking to, always leading with the product, in my opinion. And it's a healthy balance, right? You can't just sit on Facebook or Instagram and throw up all these posts all the time and expect people to just come to you in flocks and droves. That does work. It works really well when you're first getting going, right? In your first 30 days, and you just have a ton of social media response going on. But you got to pick up the phone sometimes too, right? You've got to create a list. And I don't care what sales job you do on planet Earth, these online, MLM gimmick systems where they talk about no more list creating, no more that. It's all BS, guys. These guys have never made big money. If they had, they wouldn't be doing these systems, right? And they wouldn't need your monthly subscription. And no matter what sales you're doing, real estate, car sales, beauty sales, furniture sales. I mean, just look at any product or item in your household and know that there's someone selling that product, right? Doesn't matter what it is. You've got to have a list of people you're going after, right? Every sales professional is always working off of a list. And so that list has got to be created from you. It can be created through social media. It can be created from the contacts in your phone, but you've got to work a list month in, month out. I mean, that's just what it is here. I've worked a list. Amber worked a list. Sometimes the list is crazy and all scattered in your head and it's changing all the time. Sometimes it needs to be on paper. You need a chicken list of people that you should call, but you're kind of timid to call. But this is a contact sport. You are contacting people, right? The more you contact, the more success you're going to have. And you're contacting people about a fun product, right? That people relate to. That's what I get passionate about with our business. I mean, trust me, there's been several companies in my years where, even if I was working on the corporate side and someone asked me on the golf course or in the gym or wherever, well, hey, Jason, nice to meet you. What do you do? And it was kind of like I didn't really want to tell them. I mean, I love, last 7 years, I'm in the vitamin space. I change it up all the time just to kind of see different responses. But I manufacture vitamin minerals. I'm in the vitamin business. I'm in the skincare business. I just launched a new CBD line for skincare, whatever. It's just always fun to have these conversations with people. And more when they start asking questions. Well, what is your product about? What does it do? I think I have heard of Thrive. So know that you're having conversations with people that they're going to be curious, right? I mean, that's the leverage you have on your side Everybody wants to look better, feel better, have more energy. They want to have better skin. They want to have better this. Any product that we have, there's interested people out there. And you know that too. The best thing too, when you're having an on the phone conversation, an in-person conversation, is to just be you and be normal. You're having a normal conversation. Like, why why act like it's weird? Why think it's weird? Why make it weird? And if it's your first couple times doing it, that's fine. If you feel a little awkward, that's natural. But the more you do it, the sharper your sword is going to get, and it's no longer going to be awkward. But you want to get to that point quickly, because if you're making it kind of awkward, people are like animals; they kind of sense, right? Your gut can always tell you if someone's lying or not being honest, or we always get those vibes about people, right? Well, if you're kind of being awkward about the situation, they're going to pick up on that vibe, and you want them to pick up on your energy and your passion of what you're talking about. And so another thing quickly, when we're talking to people one-on-one or on the phone, is to tell stories. People like stories. People relate to stories, right? It's not always the factual content. It's hardly ever the factual content. You don't want to just be going nuts on them about vitamins and minerals. You want to be talking about your first day, your third day, your seventh day, your 10th day, your 30th day. And if you don't have a crazy, wowing story just yet, then tell someone who does. I remember, in that business, my first 8 years where I made zero money, I didn't have a story, right? I had a product story, but that business was very centric on promoting the opportunity, which I don't like, but that's just what they did. And I wasn't making a lot of money, and it was very hard for me to have a story. But man, I would have known Amber Manquist's story like the back of my hand. And I was sharing the stories of others. Yeah, man, my great friend, so and so, he's from Austin, Texas. He works for Dell Computers. They've been in business for 6 months. Here's what they've been able to achieve. His wife, she's an ex-teacher out of Austin, Texas. She lost X amount of inches, dropped 2 pants, whatever. I mean, I had stories galore, and that's what people relate to. So Amber, to recap here, it's a contact sport. I'm sorry, you're contacting people about this business, about this product line. There's no system on planet Earth that's just magically going to fill your back office with a zillion paying customers that never want to talk to you, never have any questions. They never do anything but just hand you thousands of dollars each and every month. There's no system out there that does that. The real system that works, that makes people millions of dollars in this company, they're not the gimmicky systems online where some supposed guru is trying to charge you for all the secrets, but they've never made a dime in this business. That sounds a little odd. But it's contacting people, it's building a list, it's being yourself, and it's having a balanced approach to how you're promoting and marketing your business. You're not 100% Facebook, you're not 100% Instagram, you're not 100% email. It's a combination of all the tools, and it's being proactive, and it's taking initiative, right? We all stall out on our who to contact list. We all stall out. We all kind of run out of leads. That happens a lot. Social media is a gold mine once again, where, I mean, back in 2012, me and Paul were sending people instant messages on Facebook about the company we were starting. I mean, we were doing the same thing. It wasn't really message about the company we're starting. It was really about the product line where we're building. I mean, we had this like copy and paste message. We're building a team nationally, blah, 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 looking for people that want to promote the new Thrive product line. Get creative with how you're contacting people, how you're introducing the product line in the business, and synergize together. And I don't know how many people are on this Zoom, but there's a lot of creative minds on this Zoom. Always be changing up kind of your messaging, kind of your hook in the water, right? You don't want to fish with the same thing every time, so be texting people stuff. What's your new text message you're using to get interest, to intrigue interest with others? So Emmer, it's kind of common sense, right? It's initiative, it's being creative, it's being proactive, it's using different ideas and different ways to still accomplish the same thing. And that's GPOT, get people on Thrive. You're contacting people, but the people that do it really good in this business, I mean, just what I talked about, it's not rocket science. There's not a secret, but man, they're relentless. They get up every morning working their business, thinking about their business, thinking about helping others, thinking about getting new customers. It's not getting up every day and going to lunch and going to do this and going to do that. It's being productive, not necessarily busy.
Yes, I love that. And I want to touch on a couple of things that you touched on. You know, in Instagram and Facebook and everything, there's always ads, right? And some of the ads are exactly what you were talking about. This, you know, system, I've got this system, I've got this. But there's also ads in my Facebook and my Instagram about basically fake AirPods, right? It's, you know, oh, better than the Apple AirPods. Well, I tried to buy a pair for my son because he wouldn't leave me alone one day. And guess what? It was a big scam. Like, it even stole my credit card number. So it wasn't even like a product that didn't work. The whole thing was a scam. So, you know, you just never know. And everything is work, right? Oh, are you muted? Hold on. He's muted, y'all. Okay. It takes me a second on that. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
All right. So yeah, don't mute yourself because then I have to find you again. So, okay. Well, and the thing is it takes work, you know, and for those of us, myself, Mario, you, Tony Strathman, Natasha, Chastity, we all had to put in work. We still put in work, you know, and I'm still making contacts daily. I think, you know, a lot of times people come in and they say, well, what about the market? Is it saturated? You know, and I just met people on the cruise we just came on that had never even heard of us. And I think I told you last week, there's somebody that met Maria that lives in the city next to me that's never heard of Thrive, you know, and we have a big presence here. And so, and she's never heard of Thrive. And then somebody in Florida on the cruise that's never heard of Thrive. So what would you say to those people then? You know, what do you say to get the word out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, and I love the question so much because it's a brilliant answer. And as big as we are, and as big as we think we are, we're very, very, very small in this space. I mean, we're in a health and wellness space, which that alone is $1 trillion market globally. We just entered the you know, kind of health and beauty space now with our skincare line, and we've got other plans that I may lightly go into on this Zoom as well. But even if we just stayed in the nutritional space, I want you to think about this for a second. There's companies out there that are 2, 3, 4 times our age, right? Like Mary Kay, for example. I'm not saying it's a good or bad product. I'm just simply bringing up the fact that that is a $2, $3 billion a year company that's been in business for eons. I don't even know how long. And today, think about how many new customers hit their system for the very first time, right? Let's look at Avon, a $9 billion business. Avon, right? It's been around for forever. Okay. There's new customers that just hit their site today, right? And, you know, there's scenarios like that. There's scenarios when you consider, you know, us at around, let's just call it a $500 million a year business, approaching 7 years in age. We've barely scratched the surface of our potential. You know, we are a $3 billion story. We are that $9 billion story. And we've already approached what we've approached in under 7 years. And so it's a fraction, market share wise, we've captured a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what our true potential is, right? And so if someone says that it's saturated, I don't want to sound mean here, but it's just their uneducated definition of what that means. It's kind of a little bit of ignorance. They just don't really know the data. They don't really know the industry. They don't really know the sectors. They don't really know what the data from other companies has shown us over the last 10, 20, 30 years. And so the future is extremely bright, right? I mean, we've only really become Thrive from a nutraceutical standpoint, right? That's what we are. And if you were at the leadership retreat in Denver, I shared a little bit about the kind of bigger picture of Thrive and Lavelle, and that bigger picture is our name. It's Lavelle Brands LLC. You know, we intentionally set that up because we knew that we were going to be the premium lifestyle company, right? That's what we knew in 2012. We wanted to be the premium lifestyle company that launched premium lifestyle products, right? So if you think about that for a second, what does premium lifestyle products include? What all would that include, right? Nutraceuticals is where we wanted to start first with the Thrive experience because of our background. Our passion was really high. It's still really high in that, but we knew that that's what we wanted to launch the company with, were those three products, that system, Dermafusion technology, etc. But we also knew that it's only going to be a matter of time before we then diversify into skincare. And what we're looking at now for 2020, 2021, we have a massive, massive business plan and vision for this company. We're looking at things like Thrive Beauty. We're looking at things like Thrive Foods and snacks, and it's crazy, big, big, big picture stuff. And if we're as good as we've been in nutraceuticals, you can only guess how good we're going to be in the skincare space. And we've got a lot of things up our sleeve this year, closing the year out for Thrive Skin. That's going to be very exciting, that I was also playing with today. But when you think about the business you're building, and let's just say you had a team of 200,000 people. That's a lot, right? Let's just say you did for a second. You spent 7 years or 5 years or 3 years or 10 years, whatever it took for you to build your business. And let's just say that consisted of 200,000 customers and promoters, right? And let's say that all we ever did was have the Thrive experience and Thrive Plus line. You would be able to have a great, healthy business with those 200,000 people, right? You'd have a great team. You'd have a lot of sales. You'd have a lot of customers. Well, what if we also had the Thrive Skin as a part of that offering? And what if we also dabbled in Thrive Beauty? What if we also dabbled in Thrive Foods? What if we kept doing what we're so good at doing in other lifestyle categories, other lifestyle sectors? Well, the spend on those 200,000 is going to increase by every product line we drop in there, right? These people are already probably buying skincare products. They're already probably buying food related items for their kids, for their households. And if you're able to capture that in your team, I mean, we're talking about big, 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 big business. And so where do we go from here is just what I've explained. I wish I could tell you everything, and I wish I could tell you the full fashion of it, because it is very, very exciting. But you've just got to trust what has history shown you with this company. History has shown you with this company that it only gets better and better and better and better each and every month. We always come out with a better product. We always come out with a better promotion. We always come out with a better this, a better this. We always keep getting better. And if I'm telling you on this call, this Zoom, which I am telling you on this call, that the Thrive Experience and Thrive Plus line was the beginning story of, let's call it a 4-chapter story, and where we roll out additional brands. Saturation is so far from the factual image of this company. Right now, I mean, it's just as good as it's ever been, even since 2012. I get kind of tired of hearing that. I'm sure you guys do. Oh, if I only got in 2012 in the beginning, it's like, what would that have done for you? The odds of quitting were actually 3 to 4 times greater in the early days, because there was no fancy tools. There wasn't hyper momentum. There wasn't a million people on Facebook talking about how good it was. You would look up Thrive, and for all you could find, it was like this little bitty company that hardly anybody knew about, that there wasn't hardly any story. So it was hard to get customers. It was hard to get people to build the business. It was hard to duplicate. It was hard to grow. And so I'm actually more excited right now than I was 12 months ago, because all the work, not that I wasn't excited 12 months ago, but what has come to fruition over the last 90 days, 120 days, is we're really heating things up on this brand's philosophy and really starting to kick it into high gear. So the next 12 months, you're going to see a lot of stuff happen very, very fast, right? If you can look back over the last, I don't know, few months to 12 months, You can kind of see that we do things methodically, and we'll always do that. But the speed in which we're going to start releasing things and doing things is about to heat up very big time. So it's fun. It's the time is to be here. But once again, Amber, it comes down to sheer work ethic and determination to do it, desire to do it. Nothing in life is just given away freely, right? I mean, nothing in my life was just given to me, handed to me, and I'm sure everyone on this line has had to work for what they have in life. You know, you've got to work to be a good mom. You got to be work to be a good dad. There's hard work and everything, and this business is real. These stories are real. There are people that have made life changing income, and the next 7 years is going to only show more and more and more and more people that are making bigger income due to the diversification of our product lines and our brands. But the one thing that's going to stay consistent is that at the end of the day, when you see a 200K documentary, when you see a Lavelle, a Millionaire Award recipient, when you see anything, you've got to know that there was a lot of sheer hard work that went into that. There was worry, there was sleepless nights, there was anxiety, there was stress, there was happy times, there was bad times, there was ups and downs, there was probably crying in the car when someone quit, the one person that didn't. I mean, we faced it all. I faced it all as a promoter. Every feeling that anybody on this line has gone through, walking into a room with 6 people and they're supposed to be 30, somebody calling you, complain. I mean, I've been through it all. You've been through it all. But that doesn't matter. What matters is the end of the road, right? I think Amber or anybody on this line that's got to 200K, even got to millionaire status, there's no one that's going to say, man, we did it. We got to the end of the road, and you know what? It wasn't worth it. It wasn't what it was, marked up to be. I don't think anybody's saying that. It's quite the opposite. But the one thing that I just want to make very clear with people, and I'm kind of the opposite. I'm the other way around. Most companies want to tell you how easy it is and how simple it is and how, oh, with us, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to call anybody. You don't have to be on the phone. You don't even have to work hard. You're just magically going to make thousands of dollars every week. It's amazing. That's not real. That's not real life, right? That's not how your kids go to school. That's not how they get a degree. That's not how you're going to make money. That's how I didn't make money that way. That's BS. So I just want to make it very clear, anything, literally anything is possible with this company. I don't know what your goals are, what you want to achieve, but if life-changing income is what you want, if a free car payment is what you want, whatever your goal is, it's real, it's there. This is a vehicle, but it is hard work, and it's a business just like anything else, Amber.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Thank you so much. Talking on that, we'll just kind of one last thing, because
Yeah.
I didn't understand it in the beginning either. Free accounts, we talk to people like, get free accounts, get free accounts. Oh, well, they're not ready to thrive with you yet. Get them in the system, get a free account. And, it took a while for me to grasp that. And even Maria said, she's like, I'm getting orders. What do you mean free accounts? And so now it's that realization when you get the free account, you're getting them in your database, you're getting them on your follow-up list, you're reaching out to them, and there's people, that validation, right? Like when I met somebody, I was in another state, I don't remember where I was, but they were like, yeah, is that Thrive on your arm? Yeah, somebody set me up a free account, I don't even know what that is. And I was like, get back with them, like, can you
Yeah.
touch on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's critically important. I know different leaders have kind of their slightly different ways of how they like to treat the free accounts, but free accounts and VIP 800 and 1600, I know we talk about it all the time, but I cannot tell you how important these two items are. And I'll, not to change gears, but I'm going to talk about VIP 800, 1600 first, because Drew and I were looking at a report earlier today that we're going to be sharing. This is some data that we're going to post publicly with the promoters because of how mind-blowing it is. And the data shows how many millionaires achieved VIP 800, 1600. The answer is like all of them are 99%. And then it shows how many people got to 200K who also achieved a VIP 800, 1600, and it's crazy, staggering high. So basically what this data is suggesting that the VIP 800, 1600 is like so critically important to the future of the promoter because it sets the tone. It just sets the pace. It's really strange, but we're going to post this data. But that's crazy important. I mean, I was in the back office of a promoter earlier this week, and I was looking at their VIP 800 report, and it was mind blowing to see how many people they had in the running, but how few volume they had going towards it. It's like, my gosh, there's your gold mine, Miss Promoter. I mean, I would be picking up the phone, I'd be calling their upline, going, hey, I know I'm not trying to step over your toes here. I just simply want to help. I see Jenny is in her VIP 800 running. She doesn't have any customers yet. What can I do? Let's get on the phone with her. Let's go, go, go. But that is your blood, right? That's the new blood. That's the fire rolling up. And to get to that fire rolling up, it's like what Amber is talking about. It's the getting the free accounts going, and the free accounts is such an easy way to introduce people to the business, introduce people to the company. You're not asking for a purchase. You're just simply asking them to create a free account. There's the odds are each of us in our lives, we probably create 1 to 2 free accounts on some website every week, right? Whether you're shopping, whether you're going to someone's website, whether you're doing something, you're creating a free account. So it's something that everybody's used to. And then I'm a big fan. Here's where different leaders have kind of their different philosophies. I'm a big fan of trying my best to get people to create the free account themselves, right? A lot of other people just will give me information and I'll create a free account for you. And yeah, I know that makes it really easy and painless on the person, but there's no emotional tie-in whatsoever. They haven't been to the website. They don't even know the .com. They don't, now they're getting spammed by these emails as they're feeling. So it always seems to work a lot better, a lot cleaner, and a lot more successful for the long road if people are creating free accounts themselves, right? If someone is truly your friend, or if someone truly has any interest whatsoever, they're gonna create a free account, right? You may have to stay on them, right? Like, hey, John, hey, don't, I know you're busy, I know you got a lot of stuff going on, but let's get that free account created for you. Here's that link one more time in case it got lost, right? You might have to follow up on them. But free accounts is crazy. I mean, he or she that enrolls the most free accounts wins, period, in a statement. Our data has also shown us internally that out of all the free accounts, I think it's 35%, 37%, somewhere around there. The data has shown us for 7 years now that, around 35%, 37% of all people that create a free account end up ordering. So there's your data right there. If you want, maybe you're better than the odds, right? You could be better. Maybe you're a better promoter. Maybe you follow up better. Maybe you drip on people better. You can always increase those odds, or you can be worse at them. But let's say you're better. You've got 40% odds of everybody that you enroll for free ordering, right? So there's your odds. If you want to have 200 people, 200 customers, 200 this, whatever, that every person that comes in your system, you've got 40% is kind of the data that we've seen. But like I said, once again, maybe you're better than that. I know there are people that are better than that. Maria Dillard was way better than that. Amber has been better at that. There's a lot of 200Ks that are way better than that. But if you take the company as a whole, from the worst promoters to the best, and you average it out, what I'm saying is that for every person that comes as a free account, 40% end up ordering. So,
well, and then that's that same kind of statistics, looking back even at like my stats, Maria's stats. We've talked about it, whether it's customers or promoters, you have so many that sign up, and then only so many that start, or only so many that take off. And then sometimes,
yeah,
it's the person that you had no idea was gonna even take the business side of it, and they take off. So you can't judge who's getting
yeah.
that free account. You can't judge who you're following up with. I know you have that personal story as well.
Yeah, I'll close with that story. I call it the power of one, but um, in the second company that I was with, the first company for 8 years, I made no money. I've told this story already for those of you that are kind of new on the line, but I learned a lot. I called it, the boot camp for me. I learned everything. This my second go around in this industry as a distributor. I made a lot of money, had a lot of success, but the way that compensation plan was built, and the reason we never did that in Lavelle, you had two legs, and you had to have equal volume on both legs to be paid, right? So if you got a customer on a sale on leg one, you needed to have a customer or a sale on leg 2, and they had to equal out before it would kick out a commission. Well, what happened to me is what happens to a lot of people building the business. Yes, it's a binary, I know. And you put everybody on one leg, right? Because you're trying to get momentum going, or you're trying to help so and so, and you try to get things going. And so I had this gigantic leg build and take off. I put a lot of people in it, and it just absolutely exploded. And almost all my warm contact went in this one leg, because I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to get it going. I never had this type of comp plan before, and so I had like just millions of dollars built up in commissions. And I think I had made like 30,000 or just something nominal. And I was one of the hottest people in the company. I was always talked about, had the biggest team, the biggest this, the fastest growing, blah, 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 blah. But yet I didn't want to tell anybody how much money I'd made, because it wasn't hardly anything. Certainly didn't match up with the story of people, what they were telling me company wide. And my very best friend named Jason from Nashville, he's still my best friend to today. Jason was someone who had never been in direct sales before, had zero interest, kind of made fun about it. He was always happy for me and my success and what I wanted to do, but he kind of had zero interest in it. He was the general manager of a gym, but he was the perfect guy, right? He was just the perfect guy. He was a people person. He was charismatic. He was just like kind of a networker, natural born, and he didn't even know it. And I had tried to get Jason in the business, I think, for like 6 months, failed miserably. And a lot of Jasons in this story, because the funny thing was, we were literally eating at Jason's Deli in Nashville, Tennessee. And I was thinking to myself, why not just pitch him again? Let's just try to get him one more time. And for whatever reason, is it whatever I said while I was eating my sandwich or whatever, if I, because I'd followed up with him so long, I don't know what the magic light bulb was, but he finally said, okay, I think I'm ready to do this. What do I need to do? And we literally put a plan right there together of what he was going to have to do to get his business going, the role I was going to play, what he was going to do, what I needed him to do. Like, we just put it there, and we signed him up. We picked up the phone, we signed him up. And I remember going home that night thinking, man, is this real? Like, I can't believe he really got in. Is he going to do anything? Is he going to do what he said he was going to do? We've all been let down so many times. And the next morning he was calling me, and he was at work, and he had all these names, and he was fired up, and he was ready to go. And I was like, oh my gosh, this could be huge. And in about 1 week's time, I think he signed up, I don't know, 11 to 13 people, or I signed them up, right? He was put me on 3-way phone calls. I was working he was doing what I asked him to do. And we signed up, 11 or 13 people, something like that. He quit. All of those other people quit. But this one guy, his name was Gabe. This one guy I worked with for, call it, 6 months. And I ended up completely matching that other leg to leaving about 10%. I mean, in 6 months' time, me and this guy, I drove all over the country with him. We met more people, eyeball to eyeball. We did more living room locals. We did it everything. It was like a rampage for 6 months, where I did nothing but build this business, used my phone, worked with Gabe, crushed it, and made a ton of money as a result. So the power of one person literally led me to hundreds of thousands of people. So that's what I think is just so cool about this business. There's so many stories like that in Lavelle today. I mean, what if tomorrow you signed up the next Amber Manquist, right? What if tomorrow you signed up the next 200K? What if tomorrow you signed up the next millionaire? I mean, I don't even know. When you think of the top 5 to top 10 income earners in this company, that list always changes. It changes every month. It changes every year. And in the next 10 years, we may have the next 2 years with these lines and this diversification, we're going to have top income earners coming in and rising to ranks. And what if those people were signed up by you? So I don't know. I think that's what's so inspiring about this business, with our business in particular, Lavelle. It truly, anything is possible. It just takes the hard work. If you're not afraid of working, if you're not afraid of having the determination, right? Because it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You are building a business, right? Think of what you would have to do to build a Chick-fil-A or to build a restaurant or to build a hair salon. It'd be a long-term commitment. You're building a business, but the inspiration of thinking that how fast, how dramatic, how quickly things can change off of one person, off of two people. And here's the beautiful thing, you don't even have to find them yourself, right? You have a team, you're building a team. Does it matter to you if you personally found the next Amber or if someone two levels down from you found the next Amber, right? You're still jumping up and down, you're still excited. And so I think that's what's so exciting about our business is how quickly stuff can change. I mean, it's just it's very inspiring, to be honest. So the power of one, never stop believing in it. But Amber, anything else as we close off? I think we ran a little longer than we were wanting to.
I mean, I think we could all listen to you talk all night long. So I think you have our attention if you want to just keep talking. But I also want to be very respectful of your time as well. So I won't make you keep talking. We are greatly appreciative you being on here. We had almost 600 people on, which is amazing. And do you have any, you mentioned something a little earlier. Do you have any sneak peeks or hints or anything you want to share with us?
We've got just some crazy stuff happening in the lab right now. We've got a lot of movement in the DFT line, so we've got some exciting things happening there. Thrive Skin is just an absolute animal that we can't show. It's like the most frustrating thing because we've been able to ramp up this brand. What it took us 7 years to do with Thrive Experience and Thrive Plus line, we've done in probably 12 months with Thrive Skin. And so you're going to really start seeing things heat up towards the end of the year. The Auto Ship Insider program, I cannot explain how critical this is. This month with the Desert Camo, the DFT Ultra. Next month, we've got an amino acid powerhouse capsule that's designed to burn fat away. It's a lean muscle supporting capsule. And so that's going to be in next month's Auto Ship Insider. And so it's Amber, if you wanted to build a business with truly superior premium products that we're going to sell and deliver results to the end of time, this is the business to do it in. And so I don't have any kids. Tracy and I chose our child to be a little dog, but I know we're kind of all glad that kids are back in school because we're ready to really get focused and close out the year. But get focused, get serious. The basics are what make winners in this company. And that VIP 800, 1600, it's so critical. All the stuff we do is very critical. Get your locals planned. We've got about 20 cities that we're going to be rolling out that either myself, Paul, or Drew are going to be visiting. And so make sure you're getting your locals in gear. Make sure you're building your list. Like get in blitz zone again. Get in blitz zone. Act like this is your first 30 days, your first 90 days in business, and just go freaking nuts, right? Get whoever you need to get with to help you synergize with. Always have a running partner, right? Like don't ever feel you're doing this business by yourself. Whoever your running partner is, make sure you're talking to them daily, being productive with them. It's not just chit chat, but you're kind of in this inspiration team mode with them daily and really get out there and do it. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right? I'll close with that. We all want new things to happen in our business. We all want new things to happen in our life, but insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So if nothing changes, nothing changes. You've got to change. You've got to do something different. You've got to do something different in your business. You've got to be unique. You've got to be creative. You've got to be you. You've got to put the work into it, and you just got to go for it, period, in the statement. Get off the TV, get off Netflix, get off Facebook, and go build a big, beautiful business called Le-Vel.com. So Amber, thanks for having me on the Zoom tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Everybody, I know is so excited. The chat messengers are going crazy. We just loved hearing from you. Thank you so much. Guys, to the rest of you, make sure that you're reading up on the social media promo that just went out with the hashtag Thrive Social. Make sure you're doing your challenge for your groups today. Don't forget it. Also, if you're not contacting with people, if you're not connecting with people, you can't run with the things that he said are coming. So you have to constantly be meeting people. You have to be social. I know we meet people that say, well, I'm not a social person. figure it out. I personally, Jason, sometimes that, he said he's kind of an introvert, but look what he did, so guys, you can do this. We believe in you. And again, Jason, thanks so much for jumping on, and everybody else, we'll see you later.
See you guys in Jamaica. Bye-bye.